color kids, this is Katie Carty Hiley from rainbowbrite.net, and I'm going to be taking a break from toys today to do a different kind of Rainbow Brite product review. I've got 4 items here from truffleshuffle.com that I will be reviewing today. So truffleshuffle.com is a 80s-tastic website where they sell all kinds of merchandise having to do with those beloved TV shows, cartoons, movies, all the things we love from the 80s. And they recently came out with a brand new range of Rainbow Brite products. And typically they don't ship to the US and Canada due to licensing reasons, but I was able to pull some strings and get a few of these items to review for you guys. So if you do live in the US and Canada, you'll need to find a friend that lives overseas or look to eBay or other secondary markets to get your hands on these. But fans in the UK and other parts of the world, be on the lookout because this stuff will probably go pretty fast, I imagine. It just looks amazing and I'm super excited to have a few items to show to you. So first things first, we'll start with the one I'm wearing. This is one of their tank tops and I kind of love it because it shows off my lovely Rainbow Brite tattoo. It's going to be that kind of, that time of year where it's going to be a little chilly to wear these on a regular basis, but I might just lounge around the house in it until it's time to wear it in public again. But I wanted to show you kind of how long it is. Let's see if you can get all the way down. Just step back from my chair a little bit. So as you can see, the material's a little bit thin, I guess is the word. It's like kind of that distressed cotton, so you can see through it a little bit. You can see my jeans underneath. So yeah, it's a little bit see-through. You may want to be conscious of what you wear underneath it because you'll probably be able to see it a little bit, which I don't mind, but some people might, so I just wanted to mention that in case that's not the kind of material that you prefer. If you want a thicker cotton type shirt, I'm sure they have those available as well, but I'm just reviewing these few products that I have personal experience with. But it's adorable. I love the print. Just Rainbow Brite Starlight and Twink, the logo and this big rainbow around it. It's adorable. So the artwork itself I really enjoy, and I don't believe this print has been on any other products in the past. A lot of these products they have are exclusive to Truffle Shuffle. So yeah, we're seeing some brand new artwork, some brand new products, and I'm really excited to show some of them to you. And you should obviously look at the rest of them yourself on their website, truffleshuffle.com, if I didn't mention that already. But this is the first. It's super comfortable. This is a small. And it's not very small. It's small, but it's not super tight. See, it's loose fitting. So I don't know if they would consider this women's or unisex. I guess it is fitted a little bit in the sides here, but not overly so. So I just wanted to point that out, that it's very comfortable. It's not constricting or making me feel like, don't look at me, kind of. Because some shirts can be a little like, I don't know if I should go out in public in this, but this is not one of those, at least in my opinion. I really like it. I would happily show it off to the world because I think it's just so fantastic. And I like these kind of distressed cotton tees. They're so comfortable. And even if you wore it underneath like a jacket or a vest or something and just had the design poking out the front, yeah, that would be really cute too. Next we will go to a piece of jewelry, and I just love the packaging it comes in. First of all, isn't that adorable? And it's just got a little pull tab. You just go beep, and then you can open it up, and out slides a necklace. And this is not the only piece of jewelry they have, but this is what I was able to get, so I'm gonna show it to you. That's cute. Okay, sorry. I'll hold it up for you to see, not just myself. There you go. So it's Rainbow Brite and Twink on Starlight. I apologize, I think that's still a little out of focus. I don't know if my camera knows what to do with that because it's kind of shiny. Yeah, it's very smooth. I wasn't sure if it was going to be textured. And it's, just like gold on the back. Nice gold chain. Mine is a little bit, oh, there we go. I don't think this is big enough to, nope. It just fit over my head. And I'm really bad at clasping necklaces without a mirror, but I'll try. Actually, no, I'm not going to try. But this is basically where it would hang. I just wanted to show you kind of how long the, I keep wanting to call it a cord or a cable. That's not the word. The chain. There we go. How long the chain is. That's about where it sits on me. But what I was looking at was if the chain would be interchangeable. To people who know what to do with jewelry, I'm sure you could change it out if you really wanted to, but it would not be an easy task because as you see, it connects on both sides. I don't know if you can see that. There's no like clasp or opening on that circle that goes around. So I don't think interchanging the chain is something you would necessarily want to do unless you just really want to and you have experience with jewelry. In that case, go for it. But I really like it just the way it is. Nice gold chain, just sits right there, and it's adorable. It's not too huge and obnoxious. Like I've seen some jewelry in the past, not necessarily Rainbow Brite, but it's just like this massive thing, which can look cute in the right circumstances, but I don't particularly like that type so much. So this is a good size to me. The colors are nice and vivid. I really like how bright it is. And there's little detail. You have to kind of look hard to see it, but like the pupils in their eyes are that same gold, so they kind of shine. And there's just little, yeah, like gold all around. Basically everywhere a line is, so what would typically be black or gray on other artwork is gold. If that makes any sense, I'm sorry if that's hard to see. But I love it. This is adorable. I will be taking good care of that and wearing it on occasion, I'm sure. I already know what this is, but I want to show you how it's packaged because it's packaged so well so it's not to get broken. This is a mug. So you just pull, you know, where this little tab is, pull that up, and then out slides the mug, and it's in its own little box. So great for gift giving, etc. Says this was made by Pyramid International. That's the manufacturer, if you're curious. It is dishwasher and microwave safe, so that's good to know. Although it does say prolonged washing in the dishwasher may dull the appearance of the decoration. So keep that in mind. And yeah, before first use, hand wash. That's always a good idea when getting anything you're going to eat or drink out of. So here is the mug. This Rainbow Brite. Got some sprites in a band leading around to Twink and Rainbow Brite herself leading the band. Now, I love this because I should have grabbed it. Hang on. I'll be right back. Okay, sorry. I should have grabbed this before I came out. I love this mug so much because it is very reminiscent of this old cup from the 80s that was very popular here in America. It's a plastic, you know, nothing special. It's made by Deka, D-E-K-A, Elizabeth, New Jersey, made in the US. But it's very recognizable. I think a lot of kids had this dishware back in the 80s. Whether it was just the cup, there was a bowl that went with it. And so I love the fact that this is very similar. Though it's not the same. She's wearing a hat on this one where she's not here, and Twink is further away. And then the old one has red butler, canary yellow. The drum says Rainbow Brite in this one instead of the big Rainbow Brite logo on this. So you can see kind of the differences. And yeah, that little the sprite with the saxophone was left out altogether along with the Color Kids, sadly, but that's okay. That could have been just, they didn't want to necessarily repeat the exact pattern. Maybe that was a licensing thing, I couldn't tell you, but it's still very cute and still very reminiscent. So those of us that have never grown up and want a little piece of our childhood in our daily lives, you could totally take this to work, it could be your coffee mug, or just around the house, drinking hot liquids or cold liquids or soup, whatever. The only thing I'm going to complain about here, and this may just be mine, this may not be all of the mugs, and I don't know if it'll show up for you, but if you look at the very top of the I and the B there, and then if you look at the very top of Rainbow's hat, it's blurry. don't know if you can tell. But yeah, it's just the very top. So I'll say the top, not quite an inch, maybe half an inch, something like that, of the design is a bit blurry. Although the top of the R is not, so yeah, I'm guessing that's just some kind of printing issue. I don't know if error would be the right word, probably just some kind of printing issue. And again, that may not be all the mugs, that might just be this one. But I just wanted to point that out in case it matters to you. And again, I'm sorry this is not focusing. Whoa. Let me try this finger. Can I focus? Nope, it's focus. No. Sorry. It's not behaving for me. But I still super duper love it. Thank you, Truffle Shuffle. This is adorable. I might just like put it right beside this one in my collection because I think that would be adorable. And last but certainly not least, because I saved the best for last, is a knitted jumper. Okay. Some of us back in the 80s, not me sadly, but some fans had homemade knitted Rainbow Brite sweaters because there was a pattern for it back in the 80s. And I believe I actually have the pattern, but I don't knit, and I don't believe any of my family knits enough that I would ever ask them to make one for me because it would be a big job. So all the ones I've seen like pictures of, I'm super impressed by the family members who took the time to make these for their little girls because they're adorable. But I like this better because, as Renee was pointing out in our latest podcast, the facial details on the old knitted sweaters weren't very clear because it was just stitched. There was no embroidery involved unless you had a really super duper talented relative maybe that stuck some embroidery on it, but that wasn't in the pattern. So close up it would probably look kind of pixelated, you know, low res in today's speak. But this is not low res at all, and let me take it out of the bag to show you. But I like that it comes in a bag to keep it free from any snags, dirt, or whatever the case may be. So this, the face of Rainbow Brite and Twink are both like felt, but then her ponytail, all of their facial features, around the arms, all of that is embroidery. And I really hope this will show up well. I think that's in focus this time. Because, oh my god, that's a lot of embroidery. Now, obviously, I know it wasn't done by hand. There's embroidery machines these days that can do all sorts of awesome things. But I just love embroidery. It lasts a really long time. It looks great. And this is really well done. Although I did just notice that Twink's antenna don't seem to be there. Like you see them start on his head and then you see the stars, but there's actually nothing else to his antenna. So again, that might just be mine. I would need to look online to see if the picture looks that way. I'm not sure. I didn't notice it until it's right here in my hand and I'm like, oh, where's his antenna? So if you know someone who does embroidery, they could add his antenna on if you really cared. I don't think anybody would notice except for crazy Rainbow Brite fans like myself. So it's not that big of a deal. Here, I'll show you the rest. So they're sitting over the Rainbow Brite logo. And that's all knitted. There's not any embroidery in that, but it really doesn't need to be because it's so big. You would obviously read it, no problem. And then the sleeves. I really love the sleeves. And again, this is just like the old pattern. The old pattern had colored sleeves like this. Yeah, I've got several pictures up on rainbowbrite.org under the fans section. If you go there, you'll see several kids in sweaters back in the 80s that looked very similar to this. And the pattern, I believe I have on rainbowbrite.net if you want to take a look at that. But I'm astounded that they made this because it's such a cool thing. And I never would have thought, oh, a company should take that pattern and make one to mass sell. Like that never would have crossed my mind because I never would have expected a company would do it. But they did. And I'm super excited. Okay, so this is also a small, and I'm just gonna put it on over top of this tank top. keeping the tag on for now. I don't know yet if I'm gonna wear this out or if it's just gonna sit in the collection to keep it from getting messed up. But I have to at least put it on for you guys. Whoa, where's my head? So the neck hole is a little tight. That could just be the small. But Renee always asks me that, so I wanted to mention. Yeah, I had to really shove my head through that. Although, in the, cold winter months, when you're trying to stay warm, that's going to be a good thing because it'll keep your whole neck warm. If you want to wear a scarf with it, fine, but you wouldn't have to necessarily. Okay, so this fits really well, actually. Here, again, I'll stand up. So, actually, let me just move the chair for a moment and pick up the silica packs. These were in the sweater, so be sure to pick those up. Don't let your pets eat them, or babies, or whoever might be around. Those are bad for you. So, here's the sweater. Wow. This is amazing. And oh my god, look at my hair. Sorry. I just looked really cool with my rainbow hair. Love the sleeves. They're a good length. That's one thing I really hate about some long sleeve things, sweaters and shirts, and jackets, whatever. Sometimes they're just not long enough. They kind of sit up here, and that's not cool. I mean, this was like well down on my hand. That's perfect length. And yeah, so the logo goes all the way to the side seams. It doesn't like go around the back, but then you wouldn't be able to read it if it was around the back. So I'm glad that that's all in the front. But it's massive! I love that! I love that it's just this massive knitted, embroidered, and I don't want to call it a patch because it's not. This is the only part that's a different material. It's just felt. But all of this is still just knit yarn. I'll have to look at, I should have looked at the tag before I put it on because I'm not taking it off again right now to see what it's made of, but I'm sure it says that on their website. This is probably a material you want to like gentle wash, put on the gentle cycle in your washing machine or hand wash. Probably don't want to put it in the dryer. I don't know what it's made of, but I would imagine something like this could shrink. And it fits good now, but I feel like if it shrank any, it might feel a little tight. Yeah. So I would just treat it with care as you would something this nice. Oops, there's something else in here. Oh! That's cute. It comes with some extra string or yarn. So if something got messed up, you could take it to someone who knows what they're doing and they could actually repair it. That's cool. And it's just, yeah, it's connected to the tag. Oh, 100% acrylic. There we go. I don't need to look at the other tag to know what it's made of. 100% acrylic. I don't know much about acrylic to tell you about washing it and drying it and all this. But Google it. I'm sure it's out there if you're curious. But I love this so much. Look at all the rainbows. It's just, sorry, I'm admiring it because it's lovely. I wish I could wear this every day. I may have to get like a second one so that I can wear it every day and not worry about messing this one up. Eee! So, yeah, that's all I've got today. The tank top, the sweater, the mug, and the necklace. But it's all fantastic. It's really good quality. I would absolutely recommend buying from them just based on these few items. I pointed out those couple little things that might bother some people, but they're nothing huge by any means. Like I wouldn't say, don't buy the mug just because there's a little bit of blur on the top of her hat. It's really not that noticeable unless you're me, because I notice everything when it comes to Rainbow Brite. I can be oblivious to the rest of the world, but if it's Rainbow Brite, I'm gonna notice everything. So that's just me being picky. But I love the packaging. I just love this. I'm gonna keep this around just because it's so cute. Yeah, the mug was packaged so well, so it's not gonna break. And everything was not super expensive. I mean, if you convert it to US dollars as opposed to British pounds, obviously it's higher in US dollars. But for those who live in the UK, I think you're getting a great deal on these items. I wish I lived there right now so I could just go buy all of the things. I love them. I love them. I may have to hit up my friends who live in the UK and be like, hey, so can you buy this, and this for me and send it over? Um, I think that's all I have to say right now. But yeah, check them out. Check out their prices because, again, they're not unreasonable. I can't remember what they are off the top of my head. I probably should have written that down before I did this video. Sorry! But I'll put a link in the description to their website directly to the Rainbow Brite stuff so you can go straight there and check it out yourself. They've got a dress. They've got leggings that are like the old material from like the sheets. It's not actually that material, but it's the same pattern, or at least most of it. It's the best part. It's got, rainbow and starlight over the rainbow. It left out murky and lurky in the pits, but you don't want that on your dress anyway. So yeah, those two items I super duper want. They've got several other t-shirts that are exclusive to truffleshuffle.com. I believe there might have been one or two other tank tops, and they're all different designs, different colors, different sizes. There's some more jewelry. There's some earrings. What am I forgetting? Oh, and another thing I super duper want. They have a lunchbox that looks just like the vintage lunchbox. Sorry. Apparently I reached a file size limit on my phone and it yelled at me. I'll just splice this in on the end. Yeah, all I wanted to say was yes, they have a lunchbox that looks just like the yellow Rainbow Brite lunchbox that a bunch of kids had back in the 80s. And I think that's amazing. So I definitely want to get my hands on one of those. But those are off the top of my head, those are the things I'm remembering. I may be forgetting. Oh yeah, there's some mirrors. So it's like a Rainbow Brite image on one side and a mirror on the other. Again, I'm probably forgetting a couple other things. But they have a lot of cool stuff. Brand new stuff we've never seen before. All high quality, not crazy expensive. Again, I apologize to those of us who live in the US and Canada that we can't get it as easily as others. But there's so much stuff being released here that they can't get over there. So, yeah, what are you gonna do? I'm not gonna be mad about it because they've got plenty to be mad about themselves because we're getting all these amazing toys like this guy that they can't get, and that's sad. So, I figure if we put up some of these guys, whoops, sorry Starlight, on eBay for them to buy that they can't get in their own country, maybe they'll put some of this stuff on eBay for us to buy that we can't get in our country. Give and take. It's the rainbow way. Share the rainbow, as Renee would say. But yeah, I think that's it. I'm sorry I'm babbling. I love this sweater so much. I don't want to take it off. Point is, you should go to truffleshuffle.com. You should check it all out and try to get some if you can, because it's amazing. Thank you, Truffle Shuffle. I love you. I love the stuff. Yay, Rainbow Brite. Bye, you guys.